The cold wind howled through the narrow streets as Ethan pulled his worn-out jacket tighter around his thin frame. His stomach rumbled, but he ignored it. He was used to the hunger by now. At just 14, Ethan had learned to survive on scraps, doing odd jobs around the neighborhood to help his mother, who worked tirelessly as a seamstress. Tonight, the streets were particularly quiet, except for the occasional car passing by. He kicked a small rock along the sidewalk, deep in thought, when he noticed a man standing under a flickering street lamp. The man looked lost, fumbling with his phone, frustration clear on his face. Ethan hesitated for a moment before walking over. "Sir, do you need help?" The man, dressed in a sharp but slightly disheveled suit, looked up, relief washing over his face. "Yes, actually. My car broke down a few blocks away and my phone just died. I was trying to find a cab, but it seems impossible at this hour." Ethan glanced around. The street was mostly deserted, and calling for a cab without a phone would take forever. He made a quick decision. "I know a shortcut to the main road where taxis pass by often. I can take you there." The man hesitated but nodded. "That would be great, thank you." As they walked, Ethan kept up a cheerful chatter, sharing stories about his neighborhood and school, though he left out the part where he often went to bed hungry. The man, who introduced himself as Mr. Bennett, listened intently. When they reached the main road, Ethan waved down a taxi. Before getting in, Mr. Bennett reached into his wallet and pulled out a crisp $20 bill. "Here, for your kindness." Ethan shook his head. "No, sir, I didn't help you for money." Mr. Bennett smiled, clearly impressed. "You're a good kid, Ethan." He handed him a business card instead. "If you ever need anything, call me." Ethan took the card, slipping it into his pocket without much thought. He had no idea that this small act of kindness would change his life forever. A week later, disaster struck. Ethan came home to find his mother sitting on their rickety couch, her face pale. "I lost my job," she whispered. "The shop closed down." His heart sank. They barely scraped by as it was. Without her job, how would they survive? Desperate, Ethan racked his brain for a solution. Then he remembered the card. He pulled it out, reading the name again. Jonathan Bennett, CEO, Bennett Enterprises. His breath caught. CEO. His fingers trembled as he dialed the number. A crisp voice answered. "Mr. Bennett's office." I don't know if he remembers me. My name is Ethan. I helped him the other night when his car broke down." There was a brief pause before the voice replied, "Hold, please." Seconds later, a familiar voice came through. "Ethan, I was hoping you'd call." Ethan hesitated. My mom lost her job. I don't know what to do." Mr. Bennett didn't miss a beat. "Come see me at my office tomorrow." The next morning, Ethan and his mother arrived at the towering glass building. They felt out of place among the polished professionals, but a receptionist greeted them warmly and led them to Mr. Bennett's office. The CEO welcomed them with a smile. "Ethan, I knew there was something special about you that night. You didn't hesitate to help a stranger. Now it's my turn." He turned to Ethan's mother. "Ma'am, I have an open position in my company that matches your skills perfectly. If you'd like, the job is yours." Tears welled in her eyes. I don't know what to say." Ethan's heart soared. They weren't just getting help. They were getting a fresh start. Mr. Bennett patted Ethan's shoulder. "And as for you, young man, you remind me of myself at your age. Kind, hard-working, and full of potential. If you ever want to work here when you're older, my doors will always be open." Ethan grinned. Maybe life had been tough, but kindness had brought them to this moment. And just like that, one small act changed everything.